Well, basically, it was your typical hot Los Angeles day where and Mike and his brothers, they all lived out in the San Fernando Valley, which, as we all know, can be 20 degrees warmer than the LA side. So we were at Westlake Studio working on Thriller, and came time to go, but I had stepped outside to where the car was. That day, sometimes we'd take my car, sometimes we'd take Mike's car. That day we had taken Mike's car to Rolls, and I just happened to step out on the back where the car was parked, and I looked down and I saw some fluid that was underneath the car. And so I said, what is this? So I went out and I touched it and I said, wait a minute, this isn't oil. I was trying to figure out, what is this? Because it was clear. So when Mike came out to go, he said, let's go, Nelson. I got a lot of things I still got to do. I said, no problem. Let's roll, bro. And, but I said, something's wrong with this car. It's leaking some kind of fluid. And he said, all right, well, let's check it out, but I got to be quick. So at that time in Hollywood, from Westlake on Beverly Boulevard, we go through Hollywood, jump on the Hollywood freeway to the Ventura to get back to Encino. At that time, there was a Rolls-Royce dealership right at the corner of La Brea and Hollywood. So we pulled in there real quick. Mechanic said, hey, man, you guys are leaking brake fluid. Oh. So I said, okay, how long can it take to fix? And the guy said, well, you just rolled in here. It might take at least a couple of hours. Mike freaked out, saying, Nelson, I got to go, man. I said, okay, how long would it take to get a rental? And this was a holiday weekend. I can't remember the day, but it was a holiday coming up. So the guy said, it may take, an hour to get a rental car over here. And so Mike said, I can't wait, Nels. We got to go. I said, all right. So the mechanic said, all right, I'm telling you guys, if that brake fluid rolls back onto the muffler, it could start a fire. Brake fluid is very flammable. Mike gets in the car, he's got his headphones on, and we had been working on Billie Jean at the studio. As far as I can remember, that's what he was listening to, whatever he had been working on. So he just bopping away. Yeah. So we're flying down the Ventura Freeway to get off at White Oak, because at that time they were renovating the Havenhurst house, and he was staying in some condos. That's where we were headed. So to get there, we got off at White Oak. Anyway, we're coming down the exit to get off at White Oak, and it's a red light. So we come up and have to wait instead of just going through. And while we're waiting for the light to turn, all of a sudden I noticed this kid on a bike to my left waving at me. And so I hit the window down. The kid says, your car's on fire. Then I could see white smoke coming up, billowing up, right? The light changes green. I shoot across the street and park underneath the freeway. Both jump out. The bonnet comes up and all this smoke billows out. Mike freaks out. I freak out. I look behind me, and there's 2 service stations behind me. I run down to the service station, and I ask the guy, hey, I got a car fire. You guys got a fire extinguisher? And the guy said, yeah, here, take this. So I run back with the fire extinguisher. Meanwhile, Mike is sitting underneath a tree in the shade because it's at least degrees, and he's just bopping away with his headphones on. See me come back up with the fire extinguisher, and I go to pull the pin and hit it, but the fire extinguisher had expired. So just this white powder comes out instead of exactly. And so Mike dies laughing, and he said, now forget about it, So I went back to the gasoline station and called up Jackie. Jackie came down, picked up his bebop brother, but burned up all the rubber in the engine and stuff. So it was, Mike couldn't care less about his car.